Good afternoon, it's Dr. Anderson. To spank or not to spank? That's the question we're asking people. So I have something I want to share with you. Stick around to the end of the video, and then I'm going to give my insight onto this man's opinion.
Uh, most of the family there, they are Christian, so they're trying to raise their kid. It doesn't matter spanking, but you can use other alternative ways, you know, like time off, some stuff like that. I'm not sure about that. It depends.
So do you think there are some kids that can benefit from it and some kids that can be hurt by it?
It depends with the situation. You know, if, for example, if let's say a kid does something like this once, twice, and he doesn't listen, so you can figure out something that more different than what you have been doing.
So spanking shouldn't necessarily be the first thing that you go to,
No.
but you need to be trying other alternative ways of doing it.
Yes, first.
But also making sure that what you do fits with your personal values, your faith.
Yes.
And that it's not just something you just do off the top of your head, that you don't give a lot of thought to it. Maybe you counsel other people. What should I do here?
Personally, I don't think spanking is something that parents can, before they get to that point, they show them.
Right. I like the
Because
idea.
the reason why I'm saying that is because people, like, especially so much feeling. So you don't know how. There's some people that will spank you in the right way, but some they won't. So they have to consider that as well before they get spanked. Some other alternative first.
So there are a lot of considerations that
Yes.
a parent needs. It's not a black or white thing,
No.
and you're in which someone does it. This was a really likable fellow, very thoughtful. He often said depends. I didn't look at that as a sign of like ignorance. It was thoughtfulness. He wanted to be careful in his response. And I think there's a bigger lesson there as a parent is being careful in our response. He started off by talking about being from Kenya, and it's a lot of Christians there, and they have a specific belief system about how to discipline. He wasn't necessarily advocating, spare the rod, spoil the child. There's a lot of debate over what that really means, but nonetheless, he was simply saying that discipline is needed. And that's true. Discipline in all of our lives is needed. Self-discipline, setting discipline for children and boundaries is the beginning of what they're going to need as an adult. So as to the question of spanking specifically, the point he really made that I liked was that it doesn't need to be the thing of first resort. It needs to be something that is unique to the kid and to the circumstance, and it certainly needs, other things need to be attempted before you spank a child. That it's not a universal panacea or solution for all the troubles. I don't think that it really reflects reality either, because certainly as adults, we can do things that can result in physical pain, but not everything. In fact, very few things will actually result in physical pain, but there may be some things, and we need to be mindful of what those might be. So when you're disciplining a child, do so in a manner that's going to best resemble what they might experience as an adult. So he said that spanking is not a first result. There is a right and a wrong way, and that the spirit in which you would discipline your child is as important as the actual act itself. So if you're approaching your kid and you're in anger, then the discipline is going to take an angry tone onto it. If you approach your child with some sadness that they've done something that you know is going to harm them, then they have to understand that the discipline is necessary, but it's not meant to be vindictive. It's meant to be instructive. And certainly in the moment, they're not going to know all this. This is all very much subconscious programming. But as the parent, it's crucial that you be aware of the spirit that you approach them in. And if you recognize that, listen, like in the illustration I give in another video, if I can't discipline my kid a certain way with the right spirit, then I don't need to discipline them in that way. Even if it's maybe necessarily what they need, I need to work on myself a little bit better before I utilize that form of discipline. I need to find something else. So that's the responsibility we have as parents. And at the end of the day, it's for our kids, it's for the community to raise kids that know how to pay attention to boundaries, that think critically, and that are not always believing people are out to get them and hurt them, but understand that instruction isn't always comfortable.